Cheers.
Cheers. And welcome to another episode of Marlon vs. Marlon. And I'm your boy Marlon.
And I'm your boy Marlon.
Join us as two childhood friends, go back and forth, argue, debate, fight, sometimes maybe even agree on everything from sports, pop culture, and everything in between.
On today's episode, we're going to get into the ins and outs of the contract for Patrick Mahomes, 10 years, $503 million, which is ridiculous.
Sheesh!
Which is ridiculous.
And it's not enough.
And then, not enough.
Not enough.
Well, we'll talk about that. And also, too, we will discuss Deshaun Jackson, Steven Jackson, some of the comments that they said, and Hitler was mentioned. So we'll talk about that. But first, we do want to give a shout out to one of our good friends, Major King, Mucho Mooch. He passed away last week. 3rd. So it was a tough time, and so we just want to just have just 8 seconds of silence for Mucho.
If you know, you know.
All right, so
we'll put this cheers up to him too.
Yeah, man, we're gonna do this cheers for him.
One time for my bro.
Let's go.
We're gonna miss you, bro. San Diego, Spring Valley in particular, the whole Southeast.
Yeah,
they lost we lost a real one, man. So
yeah.
You know we're gonna miss you. It's been real cool to see everybody come out and just show the love, because that's all he was feeling was love, having this man.
Right.
It was never a bad time with bro. So you know.
What was one of your favorite memories of him? Just out of all the times you.
For me, so one of the other big homies, YC, used to coach my son's baseball game. So this is like a selfish moment for me.
Yeah.
So I pulled up to the baseball field, and Major was at the game. Mucho was at the game.
Yeah.
And you know, he just had this energy. And if you knew him, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
It's 9 a.m. I don't even want to be there. It's my son's game. And Mucho there, he turned up already. Bro, that's MP3, that's for MP3. Yeah. Okay, so, you know, so just that kind of stuff. Every time I seen him, it was big, bro, love you. He was a legend, blood, like, you know, everything. Yeah. He was supposed to go to the league, like all that. Yeah. So, you know, it was just always, it was never a bad time. I never had a bad time when I seen him.
Never.
And it was weird because, like, most of the times we hung out was never planned.
Right. It just happened.
But when we linked up, it was love. Right. And it was always a good time, so.
Right. I'd say with me, it's funny how you call him Major. I knew him, just me, Richie Ray, Terrell. You know, we all hung out with him before he got all his nicknames and everything. So it was just Major. Like, that's just what we called him. So
his name is Major.
It's Major.
Yeah.
So that's what I call him. So as he got older, he was like, "Hey man, don't be calling me by my government name, blah 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 blah." And I'm just like, that's what I know you as. So, but now he obviously grew to being this San Diego legend, and not just a Spring Valley legend. So, but every time I saw him, it's always just good spirits, good vibe. Whenever I was back home, you know, if just going out anywhere, he would always sneak up somehow and find me and just tap me and be like, you know, what's up? And so it's just, and then that night at the day before Thanksgiving, he snuck up on us that night, and he was just like, what's up? So it was just. That's who he was, but good energy, good vibes all the way around. So he would definitely be missed, and it's just good. Like you said, it's just great to show all the love that everybody's showing at that rallies in Spring Valley. So it's just
I was home for about 4 days, and I was there every day. I had to stop by at least once. Yeah, he was just crazy. So
he would definitely be missed. But you did celebrate your birthday, so you know you turned it, you know, big 40. So
I'm not 40 years old.
Yeah, so
I'm 34.
I knew I had a 40.
Wise, very wise.
I knew I had a 40.
But you know, one day you'll get these gray hairs and you'll be a wise old man.
Yeah. So we'll start off first, and we got 2 guests that are going to be joining us,
and it's going to be a quick one, guys.
Yeah,
it's going to be a quick one.
So
we're already 5 minutes in. So
Patrick Mahomes, we heard about his contract, 10 years, 503. Do the math, $50 million a year, and 141 of that contract is guaranteed. and this is, and I didn't necessarily read all the ins and outs to the contract, but they said it was very team friendly. So when you look at the deal, 10 years for 500, you're thinking, oh man, he took all the money.
12 years, because it's an extension. So
extension, right.
Yeah.
So, but I think it was something along the lines of after each year, I want to say that I think they can not renegotiate, but they can basically
move some numbers around to make it salary cap friendly
to make it make sense. So
yeah.
But yeah, so I think I'm just mad I got to deal with this dude for 10 more years, 12 more years.
And this is
on top of that.
And this is why I say it's not enough. Let's be honest. If they go to 3 more playoff games, conference finals, or conference championship, whatever, or even win a Super Bowl, his contract's paid in full.
Yeah.
He's already done what he's supposed to do and more. And I don't know if you guys, I don't know how many of you guys have been watching this show for a long time, but a few episodes back, it was a little while ago, I told Marlon that there was going to be a deal, a deal somewhat like this. And I said the 300, 400 million, and I said it was going to be crazy long. I don't know if you remember this, but he looked at me crazy because I was talking about it's going to be for Dak Prescott. Obviously, Dak's not getting 500 million, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was a trend. If you think about it, look at the deal Jimmy Garoppolo got 3 years ago. We were like, well, he got 100-something million. That's crazy. And now we're like, damn, the 49ers got a steal. Mm-hmm. The same thing is going to happen with Patrick Mahomes. This deal is not going to it's not going to live itself. Not for him.
Yeah.
In 5 years, that's not going to be enough money for Patrick Mahomes. There's going to be somebody making more money than him.
That was one of the questions that a lot of people were asking. Do you think he's going to actually live out this contract and ride it out? Or because unfortunately, the dudes he's gonna get better. So it's like now we have to sit. At least in my division, I gotta see him all the time. You may see him every once in a while, but
I don't really care. I like the kid.
I feel like it's whatever.
He's a Texas guy too. Tech.
Yeah. So, but 5-6 years. I think you're right. 5-6 years down the road, it might be a case of all right. Hey, we got average quarterbacks making $50-something million a year. Like, what's up? So.
And what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's going to be the difference maker. If they're winning, if they go on a Patriots type run, he'll be fine.
Right.
If they start losing and hit a rocky patch, and these other guys and he's still having 5,000-yard seasons, and these other guys are making more money than him,
right?
Then it's going to become a problem because winning cures everything.
Right.
We can have friendly conversations if we're winning. If not, I don't know, guys. We might need to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think they got enough. Appreciate you, Bill, man. Appreciate that. But yeah, I think that's going to be definitely Kansas City friendly. I mean, you got to look at the 1-year deals, 2-year deals, like guys like LeBron James, guys like Tom Brady take. And it's because in 2 years, like they're about to sign another TV deal, the NFL. Like they're about to do all this stuff again. Bring them on.
Yeah. So our first guest is calling in right now. So he's one of my good friends. He's I'm gonna put your information out there. He's a police officer in the Bay. So he's experienced and he's had we've had deep conversations about Black Lives Matter and just the everything that's really going on all around the world. But he is a big Niners fan and he joins us right now. So what's going on, Mark? How you doing?
What's going on, fellas?
Hey.
Mark, thanks for joining us, man.
Appreciate the offer, man. You guys do a great job. So, I mean, I wish I could be both of y'all right now, you know what I'm saying? But I don't have the time, so Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man. So, you're a big Niners fan, so looking into the really, I mean, Garoppolo had a big contract, so, I mean, do you see the market possibly resetting in a year or two with this big contract that Mahomes got?
Not necessarily. I think when you look at a guy like Patty Mahomes, man, that dude's on a whole nother level.
Right.
So I think the smartest thing we did was, and I said this back when they signed the contract, was we established the market a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when we paid Jimmy the 26, 27, it was honestly a great deal for us because we had a ton of cap space. We had no QB. We had no future. We had no direction. But what we did was we took the rest of the league and said, hey, if you got any quarterback that's better than Jimmy Garoppolo, you're going to have to pay this dude at least $5 million more than what he's getting.
Right.
So now you're looking at a $26, $27 million deal for Jimmy, and now you get Aaron Rodgers at 30. Kirk Cousins at 30.
Russell Wilson.
And we all know the guaranteed money is what everybody looks at. So I think we did a solid for us, but we also put the rest of the league in some sort of confusion about how they're going to evaluate their quarterback and what that quarterback is worth.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that because I think a lot of the problem with, like, say, a Dak Prescott deal and why it hasn't been done yet is because Jerry Jones is buddy-buddy with a lot of the other owners, right? And if he blows the top off the market, that's screwing them. Like he just said, it sets the market. And if we pay Dak Prescott, a guy who has very little as far as playoff experience, playoff wins, and I'm a Cowboys fan, so don't get me wrong, but if we do that, my buddy over here is going to have to pay whoever the next quarterback is a shit ton of money to make it make sense.
Right.
So I'm glad he brought that point up.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't even build the way I view paying somebody based off of playoffs and Super Bowls and all that. You got to look at your team individually and quit worrying about everybody else's. Now, if you got a chance to put some stress on another team and make them have to go sweat, that's great. You know, that's a bonus right there. Do I think Dak is worth $30 million? In today's game, you have to say he is. It doesn't matter if he's been to 5 playoffs, if he's been to 0 playoffs. You look at the way he plays the game, what he means to your team, and what your strategy is as a team. And if he fits those boxes and he checks all the boxes on the list, and everybody else is getting 30-something million, that's the going market right now. Patty just shattered that. But no one is as good as Patty, so at least the Cowboys know they pay him more than what Patty's going to pay. You know, it's getting paid.
Right.
So
and you have to look at you also have to look at what's available. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing if
you ain't got options.
Yeah, if you don't have any options, your only options is hoping to get a number 1 pick, which the Cowboys aren't going to do. Even if they have a bad season, they're not going to get the number 1 pick.
Like Jamarcus Russell or somebody like you just never know. So it's a gamble. So I'll ask you this, since we're kind of talking about our teams and stuff. So you guys obviously made it to the Super Bowl, and you guys have, at least for the most part, it looks somewhat promising for the next few years for you guys, especially defensively. I just heard some news that your running back, I think Mozart's name was trying to request a trade or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, his agent came out yesterday and basically said, you know, they're requesting a trade, but and I get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get that he's trying to maximize on the production that he had last year. I totally get that.
Right.
But what he needs to do is go back to his agent and have a long talk and discuss this out, because what team right now in the state of emergency that we are in, period, is looking to trade for a running back.
Right.
That's only played 1 year. He didn't even start. He hasn't started a game, like not a game yet in his whole career.
Yeah.
He's 28, 29 years old. Had the best year of his career last year. With the incentives, he's making like 3.1, and he just signed an extension last year for 2 years. So we got him under contract for 2 years. We don't have to trade him at all. You know, we can hold on to him. What's $2.7 million of a special teams player? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, in today's NFL, that's nothing. But what team is really going to look to trade for a guy, give a 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick, and have to negotiate as soon as you get the guy to pay him? Because he wants about 4.7 is what Coleman is getting.
Right.
And I don't really think it's all about money. I really think he wants to be named the starting running back.
Yeah.
And what comes with that? You know what I'm saying? The money comes with that, but it's also a title that he wants and he thinks that he earned. And I don't knock him for that. But I think he needs us just as much as we need him, because he is a perfect complement to Tevin Coleman, and I think vice versa. Tevin Coleman is a perfect complement to him. I don't think neither one of those dudes are productive by themselves on a team as the number 1 running back.
Yeah. And you know, I just, one thing that I do think is defensively, I mean, you guys' defense has been just...
Oh, they're all right.
I mean, as a Cowboys fan, you know, hey, looking at the NFC, I mean, they're arguably top 1, 2 in the NFC. I think we've seen that. Do you agree?
I'll go with that.
Yeah,
I'll go with that. I think they're top
I think they're 2 or 3 in their division.
Maybe top 5.
In the division. Yeah.
Listen, so my job as a Cowboys fan is to hate on all the other NFC teams. And what Marlon does, like we just saw what Marlon does is hate on like the Chiefs and the Patriots and everybody else in the AFC. So I mean, you guys are good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna lie.
It's all good, man. I feel the same way about y'all. I hate y'all, but you know what? I'm realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like if y'all got a good squad, which I think y'all got this year, I'm telling you right now, y'all. People be like, oh, the Seahawks and this. Dude, I'm worried about the Cowboys, man. Because if y'all ever put it together, y'all a machine out there right now. I think y'all defense is lightweight, trash, but you don't really need, to play lockdown defense when you got an offense like that can control the ball. That can be your defense right there. And
all you need is 1 or 2 stops a game and a turnover, and with a high-powered offense, you win.
Yeah.
But those stops are hard to come by in this NFL.
The game, y'all good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, shoot, man, we appreciate you for coming on, man. We know the last thing we know the NBA is coming, and you guys didn't even get invited, the Warriors. Is that right?
Nah, but
that's so disrespectful.
Y'all ain't gonna win even with all this catering y'all gonna get. You know what I'm saying? They can give the rest of the league chips and crackers to eat to try to get y'all the ring, and y'all still gonna lose, bro.
Hey, man, I'd be mad too, man. I'd be mad too. KD gone, and soon enough, Dre's gonna be gone. It's just a matter of time. So, Steph, we talked about this like a few weeks ago. Steph was out for quote unquote for 6 weeks, and it lasted 3-4 months, something like that. So, maybe it's all good, But
hey, man, we trying to get that #1 overall, man. It's called light years ahead of the curve, but I mean, I'd be worried if Alex Caruso is my 6th man right now.
Hey, all right.
Y'all weak.
All right.
And I'm leaning heavy towards the Clippers, man. I just saw my boy Pat Beverly. He got his hotel room saged up. He got a yoga mat on the floor. He looks like he's in the zone.
Yeah.
But I don't want him starting point guard either. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I like Miami. Keep your eyes on Miami. I think Miami's got, they get Tyler Hero back. He was hurt for most of the second half. They got Iggy down there. They got some good players down there that people don't know about, man. They're going off this year. I think they can make a run and maybe get to the finals. And
Mark, you just lost me, man.
This type of thing, they can pull it off.
Mark, you just lost me. You said the Lakers didn't have a chance, and then you went heat on me.
Miami, yeah. Like, talking about sleepers. They might not even make playoffs.
It's like the Cowboys, man. Like, I hate y'all. So I'm not even gonna pretend to talk good about the Lakers, even if they are good. I'd rather give that credit to the Cowboys than the Lakers.
Hey, I feel you on that.
They did nothing.
All right. So last thing, best player. I'm throwing a curveball at you. The best player in sports to wear number 2, and the best player in sports to wear number 32.
Dude, Jeter.
Ooh, the captain.
Didn't even think about it.
And I'm gonna go Magic, man.
Magic.
Those are 2 solid.
Yeah.
You didn't prep him for this?
No.
That's
good.
That's
Curveball
solid.
at him.
That's solid. Cheers to you.
Yeah. So, but hey, we appreciate you. Yeah, we appreciate you, man. We're gonna get Dr. Falcon in next, and yeah, man, we appreciate you for listening and coming on, man.
Oh, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. Keep it up, man. I'm gonna stay listening.
All right,
Thank you,
man.
bro. Appreciate it.
All right.
Jeter, I forgot about him.
Jeter's hands down the best number 2.
Because we was talking Kawhi, and we were talking.
Jeter's light years ahead of Kawhi.
Oh man,
in my book, in everybody's book.
Yeah, like that's
Jeter might be the best baseball player ever.
He's up there.
He might be.
Yeah.
Like just played the game right, didn't cheat, won, and won some more. Hit the ball for a Hall of Fame average. Made every play you could ask from a shortstop or a middle infielder.
Right.
Jeter might be, if not the best baseball player ever, he's on Mount Rushmore. He has to.
100%.
He has to.
100%.
And
I'm not even a huge baseball person, and I know that. So,
yeah, Kevin. Shout out to Mark. Great call.
He's
man.
calling in now. So that's no.
Aside from the Miami Heat pick, that was a great call.
It's great. Yeah. I mean, I think
49ers. They're gonna be 3rd in their division this year. Watch.
I think he was just trying to just be like a secret. All right. So now this next caller, we've taken Vegas trips together. He's Mr. Old School, the biggest Falcons, Nets. I'm sorry, Falcons, Hawks, Braves fan.
He's just Atlanta.
Atlanta, everything. Born and raised. He's my big homie. But before you say what's up, Kev, he's the reason why I always talked about getting MVP Matt Ryan back. That never came back. Just because
he's to blame for this.
He's to blame for this. What's going on, Doc? How you doing?
We're still looking for Matt Ryan.
I'm doing fine, man. How y'all doing, gentlemen? NFC South, baby.
NFC South, baby.
Look, that's his name.
Yeah, NFC South, baby. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Cam, man. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll tell you, man. I'm waiting for some sports to happen here, man. I'm desperate here. It was good to hear my boy Mark B. Cali. So what's cooking, man? Let's do it. What you got? Bring it.
Man, so I mean, is Atlanta gonna make something happen this year? The Falcons? What's going on, man?
Yeah, I think,
you weren't talking about the
I think so. We signed Todd Gurley from the Rams, and I think he has some juice left. He won't be 26 until August, fellas. We return our entire offensive line and picked up some depth.
Right.
And Matt Ryan, he's going to have somewhat of a comeback year. This guy has missed 2 games in his 13-year career, and durability is his strong suit. 51,186 yards, 321 touchdowns. But get this, he has 38 fourth-quarter game-winning drives. That's more than Elway, and more than Montana, because our defense stuff, so they had to bring us back.
Right.
His first comeback win was against the Bears in 08. That's the most since 08, 38 fourth-quarter game-winning drive. I think Julio Jones, gentlemen, going to have a big year. Calvin Ridley's coming back.
Talk about taking a front runner. I think Julio Jones is going to have a great year too. I think the Falcons, to your point, are going to have a really good year this year. The only problem for them is the rest of the division got so much better.
Yeah.
Also, it's going to be tough. I want to see them do well. I love Calvin Ridley. Huge Julio Jones fan ever since he was on the TV show when he was in high school before he went to Alabama. He was on one of those Under Armour shows where they were talking to all the high school Americans. But I think you guys are going to do really good this year.
I hope so.
You guys might get 3 playoff teams from that division.
Yeah.
And that's scary for me as a Cowboy fan to say that.
Well, the NFC is loaded, man. You got the Vikings, the Saints, of course, Tampa Bay with the GOAT, TB12. And by the way, I haven't gotten over that Super Bowl, so I want to get his ass back.
28-30.
The Falcons don't play Tampa Bay.
Yeah, you should never get over that.
But, you got the NFC West with those cats out there, San Francisco, Arizona, Seattle. People think that Detroit's coming back with Stafford. They got a running game now, the rookie out of Georgia, DeAndre Swift. But, it's one of those things where the NFC's low, and I just hope my Falcons are in the mix. Because, everybody talks about the AFC West, and rightly so, with a big contract Mahomes got. But when you got the GOAT in your division, it behooves Matt Ryan to come forward with his best foot, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's got to play. He's got to play this year.
Right. And I ask you this, we'll kind of transition over to Deshaun Jackson and some of his comments, and you have some people that are out there defending him. Like some are saying he was just uneducated, misinformed. Some people are trying to justify the reasoning why it's okay, or to quote Hitler. What's your comments on Deshaun and everything he said?
After all Black Lives Matter and people like Breonna Taylor and Mr. Floyd up in Minnesota dying, and for Deshaun Jackson, there's no excuse. It's a disgrace, to put it bluntly. This guy went to Cal. He's smart. He's 32 years old. He's old enough, and you can't put Hitler out there and say this, that, and the other. My daughter was 10 years old, and when she was 10, she knew what Hitler was about as a morbid human being. I hope that Philly, releases him, to be honest with you. And I say that because, the receiver years ago used the N-word. He should have been released. And 2 wrongs don't make a right. This is a racist comment here. And as a black man, I'm saying that we can't get quiet now, because Jewish people have always had African Americans back. I think it's a disgrace, as I referenced. And I think he should be released because you got the GM up there and the owner, Jeffrey Lurie, who's a Jewish.
Yeah.
And those people went through hell, man, Deshaun Jackson's a grown-ass man. And it's a disgrace, given that he's an African-American, that he can go down that road.
And Marlon,
we have our own struggle.
Marlon, you got to say something to that?
Yeah, I do want to say something to that. So this is what I'll say. I disagree with you, respectfully. First of all, I don't think he should be released because, to your point, Cooper Riley, or I think that was Riley Cooper,
whatever.
When he said the N-word, the Philadelphia Eagles stood behind him and signed him to an extension. So right off the bat, I don't think this black man should lose his job because the white man didn't lose his job when he said something that was actually racist. I don't know if Deshaun Jackson knows the history behind Hitler's comments or what it was, because there's a large group of America that believes in black Israel, black Israelites, black Jews, basically. Mm-hmm. And this is the type of belief that they belong in. Now, I don't want to get too political or too left, but people that enslaved black people in America also quoted the Bible, right? So you can misquote somebody. Like, we could misquote the Bible for bad, and you can misquote Hitler for good. I don't like the quote he used, but I also don't think the slave owner should have been quoting the Bible, right? So I can see it on both sides. The only reason I stand on this side is because I saw the same thing in the same organization from somebody who was a different color than me, and he kept his job and actually got a raise. So yes, he needs to take some racial sensitivity, but so does Drew Brees. He didn't lose his job. So I don't think.
Let me jump in here real quick.
Absolutely.
I respectfully say I disagree with you also, brother. Now, ignorance is no excuse. You know, I understand that Riley Cooper didn't lose his job also, but the two wrongs make a right. You know, but let's throw him being a black man out the window, because you're in sensitivity here. The comment that Drew Brees made weeks ago wasn't racist. He made some comments that was stupid.
But neither was. Wait. Let's stop. The quote wasn't racist. The guy who said it was racist.
No, well, it was a fake quote anyway. So,
but all he said was that white Jewish people didn't want the black Jews to know their history because they thought it would affect them taking over the country, basically. And let's be honest, white Jews are taking over the country. Are we going to dismiss the fact that that's the case?
I get what he was trying to do. However, I just feel like you don't quote one of the most hated people ever.
But see, this
in doing so, that's all I'm saying.
But this is my problem.
Get your point across. Don't quote Hitler.
Our president, every monument in our country is a racist person that standing on some principle that we are quoting. Our president is Christopher Columbus. We can go all the way back to the beginning. So no two wrongs don't make a right. But in his quote, there were no racist comments. There were no what's the word I'm looking for? There were no slurs.
Yeah. He
just referred to two groups of people, and the person who quoted was historically racist. I understand that part. I get that part.
But you can't. I don't care what message. We'll let you go after this, Doc. Let you talk right after this. But I don't care what message you're trying to get across. You don't use it's just like you're not going to use a quote from the devil and try to bring light of something. You know, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I hear what you're saying, Doc, man. I hear what you're saying too. So you got the floor, Doc.
Yes, we'll leave it to you, Doc.
Well, here's the thing, fellas. We live in a society now where everything is heightened, so to speak, because we have no distractions. Deshaun Jackson, in my opinion, and he referenced the president. I call him 45. He's a disgrace. You know, to me, he's below a human being because of things, actions he's done. But Deshaun Jackson is smarter than that. And I hate to see that an African-American man who went to Cal, one of the best academic institutions in the country, stooped to that level. No, he didn't say racist comments like that, but when you bring Hitler in the mix and try to make comparisons and try to Hitler didn't try to upbring anybody. You know how many Jews were killed during the Holocaust? There's a lot of Jewish people out there that back the African-Americans' plight, and here this guy is, as an African-American, making Hitler, the forefront of this conversation. It wasn't racist relative to what the President 45 has said in the past and some things that he's done, or Riley Cooper. But here's the thing, and you can't get away from it. He's a grown-ass man. Hitler in any kind of reference is forbidden in my opinion.
I agree.
Because it's one of those things where if he was 16, I would probably have a problem. This man is 32 years old.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of people saying that he needs to be educated. Well, education needs to know what Hitler, the use of Hitler's name in any kind of positive sense is a disgrace. You don't need education for that, this guy here, if he was 8 years old, I'd give him a pass. But 32, no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm with you, man. But it's to me, get whatever message you're trying to get across, but just don't he could have tried to find another quote or whoever. I don't even know if it was him that did the research or one of his buddies that said, hey, look, here, post this, or I don't know what happened, but it was just a bad look, in my opinion. But I'll ask you this, and then we'll let you go because we're getting ready to wrap up in a minute. Off the top of your head, the best player to wear number 2 and the best player to wear number 32.
In any sport.
At number 32, Jimmy Brown, fullback, or even running back.
Yeah.
All time, 9-game seasons, and he only played 9 years, or 14-game seasons, that is. And number 2, I would have to say Gina, man. I agree with Marlon County. You can't even argue that, you know.
Yes.
And even though I'm a Matt Ryan fan, he's far from being the greatest ever in anything. Gina has 5 rings.
Yeah.
And let me ask you all this real quick.
Go ahead.
Who won the first Heisman Trophy winner in 1935? Who won it? Because I give you the top 5, the first 5. Let's go.
No, tell us, educate us.
Go ahead, because we're going to be here for a while.
Jay Berwanger, University of Chicago. The second Heisman Trophy winner was Larry Kelly out of Yale. The third Heisman Trophy winner in 1937 was Clint Frank. The fourth, Niall Kinnick out of Iowa. And the fifth, Davey O'Brien out of TCU. They got the Davey O'Brien Trophy. Real quick, give me 3 quarterbacks that went to the University of Alabama and won the Super Bowl. This is easy. You're on the spot.
No,
from the University of Alabama.
I didn't even know Alabama quarterbacks won playoff games, let alone Super Bowls.
Bart Starr, Joe Namath, and Ken Stabler, in that order, fellas.
Hey, man.
Joe Namath for the Jets, Super Bowl III, and Kenny Stabler, Oakland Raiders. You know, I love you guys, man. I know you got to go, man, but I could talk sports all day with you.
No, we're going to have to get you back on. I'm going to just pick your brain for some history.
He know this pointless stuff that you would never...
It's never pointless.
Well, you know what I mean. But
that's
just
when you
like,
drink at a bar.
Random stats. Like this dude, he knows the stuff, knows the sports, basketball, baseball. He'll tell you about Jack Murphy, Stadium Padres, all that stuff. He'll tell you everything. But, you know, so I know you're out there. I know you're out there in LA. You know, Lakers gonna bring it home and get a championship this year.
I think so, man. I think so. And the fact that Dwight Howard has decided to come back and do his thing helps, because he was doing the social issue thing, and I respect that. A lot of WNBA players like Moore, the lady Moore, doing it down in Atlanta. There's been some misgivings down in Atlanta, some tragics, and Dwight Howard was in part of that, and he wanted to be a positive net. But he's coming back to the Lakers. They saved the spot for him. I don't see nobody touching him. I don't want to hear about Milwaukee. They got one guy, you know. And that's and he's a stud, but that's it. I don't want to hear about the Clippers, you know, Kawhi Leonard and those cats. I don't want to hear that, because the Lakers, the last time they played, they beat the Clippers.
Right.
And then everything got shut down. I think LeBron's going to get his 4th title. I'm not even a Laker fan, man, but LeBron wants to go down in history as the greatest player ever, and he's on his way, man. You know, you can make an argument who's the greatest player ever. Right. I say Jordan. You got to put Kareem up there, Big Cap. You know, I'm a Will Chamberlain fan. Kobe. You know, Kobe's in that direction. Magic, Bill Russell won 11 titles in 13 years. He has to be in there. Larry Bird. You remember that 86-7 Celtic team with Mikhail Parrish, Bird, Dennis Johnson, one coming off the bench. That's an all-timer. So, in my opinion, LeBron's up there, but I can't put him in the top 3 yet.
Hey, we'll shoot, man. We're going to talk history and 80s and 90s basketball another time. We'll get you on, and we'll go back and forth on that, man. But we appreciate you for coming on, and you know, it's we got a good history lesson on the first 5 Heisman winners.
I love it, baby. I had fun. I'm looking forward to you guys. God bless you. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
That's what he a history.
I love it.
Freak.
I love it.
I mean everything. So
and we were out to wrap up, but I can't go without saying.
Nah, you gotta, because it would have been, we would have been here for
And God bless you, Kev. But this is my whole thing.
Go ahead.
With African Americans studying their history, and I put an emphasis on our history, and understanding what has taken place in this country that I love. I love America. I love being an American. I've seen what goes on in other countries, and I couldn't live there. I'm spoiled. I'm first world problems, right?
Right.
With that being said,
FaceTime.
with that being said, though, we're taught that Hitler was one of the worst people in the world. Correct, right? At the same time, we're taught Christopher Columbus. We're taught numerous presidents.
Right.
We're talking about America's finest.
Right.
We're great.
Right.
But the same thing Hitler did to those people in Germany, they did to us here. The same thing that Hitler did to those people in Germany, they did to Native Americans in America. The same people we have statues of. Genocide.
That's why we're trying to take them all down.
Genocide. But it's 2,000 years. Like,
I think now we're with everything that's going
It's
on, everybody's
2020.
like, okay, what is this person? Even if this person did a decent amount of good, but we remember some of the bad. Okay.
but that's how people think about Hitler. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like Hitler. But there are people who think Hitler did some good. Not in American textbooks. But those same American textbooks don't tell you the bad that Christopher Columbus did. What did you learn in middle school or elementary school bad about a president in America?
Well, there's a ton of things with different presidents. I get that, and I hear you. I hear you. All I'm saying is he could have found he could have just for one, it was a fake quote, so it's.
The quote didn't matter. The quote wasn't racist. It was the person who said the quote.
Well, no, but it wasn't from Hitler. Is all I'm saying. So I just wish that he just would have done more research before he said, you know what, I feel like making a stance. I feel like saying a statement or making a quote or to where we can bring us together. Which I know what he's trying to do and what he was trying to say, but it's all about who you quote.
And
I see what you're saying now.
This is my other point. I don't know if it was a nickel or a $5 bill. I know it was a 5 under the 2. That we thought we were looking at the White House on all these years. That was actually a plantation where slaves were kept, killed, raped, murdered, all that kind of stuff. On the money that we spend today. Like this is what I'm saying. I'm like I said, I'm pro-America. I love America. But we have to stop acting like America's history is our history.
Right.
And this is a political podcast, so I'll stop. But I'm just saying, it's not like some of the things that he's getting killed for have been ingrained in us, and it shouldn't have.
Right.
We were brought over here unwillingly, erased our history, and taught something that didn't apply to us, in a constitution that didn't apply to us either until years later.
Right.
Like a lot of years later.
I think it's funny you said that we're not a political podcast, and that was one thing that and Brandon told me this. We had Brandon on a few times.
Brandon knows his stuff.
By the way, we're gonna have a finance episode with Brandon coming up pretty soon.
I need to learn some stuff.
Right. But Brandon told me, he said, you guys will talk some politics, and I was just like,
and this isn't politics to me.
It's not, but just Trump really. I think we went probably at least 20, 25 episodes. Well, no, because remember with kneeling. So it's
but this stuff isn't politics. This is human.
Like, especially now with anything else.
Like I feel like people try to make it politics to distract from what's really going, the human aspect of it. Right. But when you watch a video of somebody getting kneeled on, getting killed for 8 minutes, you have to say, okay, we get it. You know what I mean? You can't go back. Yeah. Drew Brees. You can't look at that video and say they're kneeling for the flag or they're kneeling against the anthem, because that's not. And those are things we could kneel about too, because I've talked about that here before. Right. Yeah. But again, I'm no activist. I'm just Marlon. I'm a big sports fan.
A few people have said this, and I'm looking at it like, okay, we killed Breeze, we killed Cooper. You know, when it happened, we've killed all these people that have said insensitive things. But for those that view Deshaun Jackson's comments ignorant, misinformed, all that stuff, we're not doing the same as we did with Drew Brees and other people.
I bet you if you watch Stephen A. Smith and see what he says
he
says about Stephen A. And watch what he says about Drew Brees, you'll know exactly why I don't like Stephen A. Smith.
Well, yes. Well, I know. We've been going through, but all I'm saying is like a LeBron or like just all the outspoken people that have, you know, like Richard Sherman. I don't know if he said anything, but all I'm saying is if we kill one person, if we know whatever he said is wrong, we got to do the same thing.
That's why I said in the beginning that what he said wasn't wrong. It wasn't a lie. It was the person who said it that people don't like. And there are millions of Americans, people in our country, African Americans who believe in black Israelite, black Jews. The original man is what they call it. And doing research on it. And so if he believes that that's the truth, then that's not a lie. I don't know who was here first. I've only been here 34 years, thank God, right? But to him, Carmelo Anthony has a video talking about it just a week or so ago about, the original man. Look it up. You might be surprised at the kind of stuff that you see and why why Steven Jackson stood behind it so strongly. Why LeBron isn't coming out talking badly against him, because there are more people than you would think that subscribe to this kind of thought process. And again, I don't like Hitler. I'm not a Hitler supporter. Hitler was a terrible person. I understand that. But I can also, as a man, remove the message from the person. And I think that's very important in your personal understanding of things, because if you can't do that, if Donald Trump says something right, I'm not a Donald Trump fan. But if he says something that's correct, I can remove him from the message and take the right stuff out of it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people get so caught up in the person delivering the message that they lose some truth. And I'm not saying, I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't here 2,000 years ago or whatever it was. So I don't know who was here first. All I'm saying is I don't believe he was wrong in what he said.
I'm going to throw you a curveball.
No, I got a curveball for you too after this.
Do you feel that someone can be a Trump supporter and support Black Lives Matter?
No. I don't. Because he's blatantly against it. He showed it. He tried to make Bubba Watson apologize.
Yeah, with that, I mean, and Bubba had the most sincere, like, at the end of it, I wish I wrote it all down or found it, but he's love wins. And he just is basically saying, like, we need to teach our children love. We need to love one another. We need to, I got so much respect for him. I've never heard of Bubba Wallace until this whole thing happened.
Bubba Watson? I think Bubba Watson's called. Bubba Wallace.
Yeah. I've never heard of him, but just now hearing the story and hearing him or seeing what he tweets and how he reacts and all that stuff, it's like, what's the point of me making a news and all that? Like, what's the point? So
no, we know he would do that. They said it was there for years. So.
Exactly. So,
but I got a curveball for you.
Yeah.
As our married Marlon.
Oh.
This wasn't talked about, guys, so this is really a curveball. August Alsina.
Oh,
Jada
man.
Pinkett Smith.
Man.
Will Smith. What's going on here, bro?
I have yet to.
No, don't worry. I'll give you background if you haven't.
Oh, cool, because I have yet to hear about the whole story. But I think we all know that Jada and Will have had a very
different.
Yeah,
lax.
not the same. I just feel like it's open, if you will. I don't know that they necessarily dated outside, but and then for him to, I heard that. Well, he said that Will gave him permission or whatever. And it was like, so it's.
Sorry, you say you're against open marriage.
Yeah.
Well, so can you be a Will Smith supporter? Can you go watch Hancock and still be against
Hancock was
open marriage?
By far one of his worst movies ever. So I'm not watching Hancock.
Can you watch The Pursuit of Happiness and still be a supporter of traditional marriage? I'm just kidding. This is a joke.
Yeah,
if you guys haven't heard the story, it's kind of funny and ridiculous all at the same time.
Yeah.
August Alsina is basically saying he was in love with Jada Pinkett and his heart was pretty much broken, and Jada and Will are very, very, very quiet about the situation.
I'm just like,
and he's going on a whole press run because he has an album out, and he has songs about her. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. I just wanted to put him on the spot because he always does it to me. Yeah. And I like how you looked in the response I got, so it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, Will is. I'm the less than 1% in America that would take, and it's close, but I prefer Will over Denzel.
Oh, and
yeah.
See that? That was me taking his black card.
Yeah,
no, I like Will Smith too. I think Will Smith's just more our generation. I think Denzel, although I've never seen a Denzel movie I don't like. There's been one or two or
yeah,
three.
Will's had some shaky ones for sure, but
yeah,
for sure. And I mean, I love Denzel too. I've just growing up, I've always been more of a Fresh Prince person than Martin, so that just shows you right there I'm just. But now as I got
What does that have
older,
to do with Denzel?
as I got older, just because my I don't want to say my loyalty to Will, but I just rock with Will for so long.
Denzel wasn't in Martin.
I know, but I'm just saying it's about Will. You're not focusing on the focus on Will.
I'm so confused.
I just been a Will Smith fan forever.
I'm a
However,
big Will Smith fan. Too.
however, you can compare Will Smith and Jamie Foxx though.
Oh, Jamie Foxx is slept on.
I mean, comedy, just all the movies that impersonations. Yeah, I mean, he had for a run when after we graduated high school, like he had a run for music. So
Bro, crazy story right before we end because we're on too long. 2006, Reggie Bush's Heisman year.
You should be shot. Will is one of the top actors. I mean,
no, for sure. I'm not debating that.
Yeah.
I just want to get my Jamie Foxx story real
Cedric
quick.
said I should be shot.
So Reggie's sophomore year at SC, Reggie Bush sophomore year, my brother and I go to a game. We go hang out with them. Him, Lindell White, Dominique Bird, Matt Liner, everybody's there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 17 years old. I'm on stage in a club somewhere that I had no business being. Or might have been 18. I wasn't 21.
Yeah.
In LA, downtown LA, like big time. We're on stage. Lindell White has pajamas on, and we like go to some breakfast spot that's open at like 2 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah.
We're sitting there eating. My brother says to me, "Do you want to go to?" Well, Reggie leans over to my brother. We're at like 4 different tables with so many people.
Right.
Reggie leans over to my brother and says something. My brother turns to me, my older brother, and says, "Do you want to go to Jamie Foxx's house?" I said, "Well, yeah, I want to go to Jamie Foxx's house." That's a stupid question.
Right.
We get in the cars, 6 cars, driving. We're already in LA. We drive about 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
I fall asleep. It's 3 o'clock in the morning by this time. We get out. I'm like, this isn't Jamie Foxx's house. It's one story. It's like a gate, yeah, but we're not at Jamie Foxx's house.
The longest house.
Jamie Foxx, long story short, we get in the house. Jamie Foxx appears out of nowhere. We're sitting there for 5 minutes just talking, whatever. I won't say what Jamie Foxx said after all the racial stuff. Well,
right.
He's real.
You're
Jamie
right.
Foxx is a real one.
Yeah.
But the dopest part about it is this was before his CD came out. What was it called? Unpredictable. And he started playing that for us on his piano. And Jamie Foxx treated
a whole bunch of dudes.
A whole bunch of
Did y'all have any girls?
It was women there. But they just appeared too. It was they were there, and then Jamie Foxx appeared, and more women appeared. And this is 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right. So he did what he did with the women, and he's like,
I don't know. But he started playing it for us, and he treated Reggie Bush at that point. If I was 17, 18, Reggie was 19, 20.
Right.
He was treating Reggie Bush as if Reggie Bush was a Super Bowl MVP, Hall of Fame running back.
Yeah.
He was so enamored by Reggie. He was like, Reggie, what does it feel like to be Reggie Bush? And Reggie looked around you're Jamie Foxx, bro. What are you talking about?
Right.
You know what any type of fame feels like.
Right.
But it was so crazy, so dope. And Jamie Foxx is just so talented.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Just
that's
all
my story. That's my one Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I'm just hyped for this movie. The Mike Tyson movie. So
he's playing Mike Tyson,
He's
right?
playing Mike Tyson. He
That'd
can
be dope.
imitate him perfect. So that's gonna be dope. So
is it gonna be better than Will Smith and Ali?
No.
Ooh.
No.
Jamie Foxx also played a great role in Ali. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Shout out to my big cousin, Chris Young. Had to wear your jersey.
A whole bunch of dudes. Yeah. I'm just he telling me the story about him singing on pianos and stuff. I'm like, okay, so
I'm trying.
y'all whispering in each
You
other's
gotta
ear,
read.
and
You
go
gotta
to Jamie
read
Foxx's
between the
house.
lines. You gotta read between the
pops
lines
out
of
of
the story.
nowhere.
I'm not trying to send. Your wife might watch this episode.
And
For once.
I do what I want.
Hey
I
guys.
say what I want. Run my shit. But yeah, other than that, that's all
here.
That's all we got. Tours it's around the middle of July, so I said it last week. I said it again, and then we're wrapping up on this one. I find it hard for the seasons to come back. Baseball, basketball, with COVID going around, I find it hard. It's bound to happen. It's bound to go around. The little bubble is not going to be a bubble. People will be going in and out. You got the workers there. You got people there off days. It's bound to happen. Unfortunately, that's just how I feel. I pray that we do have a season. I hope we do because we need sports back. Soccer's actually about to come back on. We got a big UFC match on Saturday at I think it was Star Island, I believe it was. So that's gonna be dope. Fight Island, yeah. So that's gonna be dope.
It's gonna be a good fight.
So yeah,
Couple good fights.
So I'm gonna watch that. So Marcel, what gifts that? Oh, where the girls at? Yeah. So he killed it in Ray. Yeah. Jamie's cool. So, but
hey,
all right, man.
I hope the NBA is watching the TBT and how they've been doing with the bubble. It's a smaller bubble, but a bubble.
Yeah.
Because they did a good job. Shout out to Malcolm Thomas. Shout out to Team ALS. They took a hard loss, but all those guys, man, fighting for a great cause. And shout out to Lucho. Rest in peace, bro.
Yeah, man.
Love you. Bye.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Other than that, we will be back next week. Appreciate y'all for joining. Peace.
We out.